If there's one simple way to describe this film, hidden gem. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to yet another brand new movie review. And as always, I thank you all so much for stopping by, and I hope you enjoy your stay. This time around, we're looking at the brand new Netflix exclusive film, Monster. Yes, this film made its debut on the festival circuit all the way back in 2018. And here it is, finally finding a home on Netflix. This one's directed by Anthony Mandler, and it stars a fantastic cast. You got Kelvin Harrison Jr., Jennifer Ehle, Jennifer Hudson, Jeffrey Wright, John David Washington, and A$AP Rocky. You heard me. This film tells the story of Steve Harmon, played by Kelvin Harrison Jr. He's a 17-year-old honor student whose world comes crashing down around him when he's charged with felony murder, which, spoiler alert, he had nothing to do with. And the film follows his dramatic journey from a smart, likable film student from Harlem attending an elite high school through a complex legal battle that could leave him spending the rest of his life in prison. So as a lot of you are aware by this point, I'm a sucker for courtroom dramas. If they're done right, like a 12 Angry Men or A Few Good Men, they could be as white-knuckled as the grittiest thrillers, and all without any really graphically intense bloodshed. And this movie, guys, God, how do I put this? Let me just say that I felt my heart rate going way up by the time this final verdict was being read. And that's not really because of the mystery involved like there usually is with these courtroom dramas, but it was because I wanted to make sure that this jury chose the correct verdict. And Monster could be super aggravating to watch at times, because it felt like no matter what the actual truth was, this poor kid was gonna pay the price for something he didn't want anything to do with. And my blood was boiling because the racial implications of this... Good lord, man. Still, and I'll get to the big con with all of that in just a second, but I'd like to praise these performances first, because Kelvin Harrison Jr. was so damn good in this film. This is a name I think you all should watch out for. There was so much poise to his performance and so much emotional depth to his character, and I found the character to be incredibly relatable and easy to root for as well. And no, that's not simply because this kid is a film addict like I am. There's not only the emotional depth in his performance, but the writing for this character is so excellent as well, because we feel for him. We care about what's going to happen to him. Kelvin Harrison Jr. was certainly up for this challenge. Like I said, look out for his name on bigger projects to come. As a matter of fact, I feel like all of these actors were up for the challenge. Jennifer Ehle as Steve's attorney, fantastic poise to her performance as well. Jeffrey Wright and Jennifer Hudson both provide a lot of gut-wrenching emotional beats as Steve's parents. Tim Blake Nelson playing a film teacher providing all the meta-driven dialogue was something I never knew I needed. Even John David Washington, who I was completely unaware was a part of this project, he's completely unrecognizable. Absolutely fantastic performance from him. And I gotta admit, it felt kind of jarring seeing him do a role that was shot even before Black Klansman and Tenet. It almost felt like I was watching Do the Right Thing for the first time, and I'm watching it and I'm like, oh shit, that's a young Gus Fring. Apples and oranges, I'm aware. I'm just saying that the double take in that moment seeing John David Washington in this movie kind of resembled that. Now, the performances and the filmmaking techniques are all fabulous. I really love how Anthony Mandler provides a lot of clever moments in the cinematography, where we as the audience are looking through the lens ourselves as Steve is shooting a photograph or setting the scene for one of his shorts. It's essentially the lens looking through a lens looking through another lens. Yeah, this movie gets super meta. Yeah, in between the lines of all the courtroom tension, Anthony Mandler was basically writing a love letter to the art of filmmaking. But, yeah, this is where my big issue with the film starts to come around, and that's unfortunately this script. Even though overall as a story, I personally don't mind the film. The pacing is super tight at just a shade under 90 minutes. My problem with the script is actually the dialogue. For my liking, it was way too on the nose. There were times where the prosecuting attorney will point right at Steve and call him a monster, and I get why that's there. All of that's to make us feel for Steve's character and the aggravation that he's in this situation. But even after that, there's a good handful of lines where I feel like characters will tend to over-explain a little too much. And I also gotta touch on this narration for a second. I get it. I get why it's here, but I think the narration was the biggest culprit of being too on the nose with words. It honestly got to a point where the narration I found really distracting, and it never should be. The whole point of narration is to kind of help the story along, not really to hammer the point home, if that makes sense. Yeah, the dialogue is a massive thing working against this movie, but honestly, I think this is still worth the watch. If you see it on Netflix, I would absolutely recommend clicking on this one. I do think this is also a very important cathartic film for the times we've been going through right now. I'm gonna give Monster a B. That hidden gem definition is no joke. There's a lot of stuff you can really appreciate with this film. The filmmaking and the love letter to filmmaking within it is really nice to see. All the performances are dynamite, especially from our lead, Kelvin Harrison Jr. A true star in the making, and I think, like I said, very important film for us to watch right now. This is all just one guy's opinion though. What do you guys think of Monster? Have you seen it yet? Do you agree with me? Do you not? I'm also curious, what is your guys' favorite courtroom drama? As you guys know, I love making these videos for you guys on the regular and starting the discussion about cinema and all things entertainment. So let's continue that discussion down below in the comments, shall we? And hey, if this is your first time visiting the channel today, thank you so much for clicking on the video today. And hey, if you haven't already, go ahead and smash that subscribe button down below as hard as you possibly can. You know you want to, because it's totally free. It would really help out the channel as well if you did so. And hey, also, if you subscribe and if you click on that notifications bell right next to it, you guys will be the first ones to know anytime a new upload hits the channel. And just one last reminder, hit that thumbs up on your way out too. That would be much appreciated. And as always, look out for more exciting content hitting this channel very soon. You guys are the best. And with all that being said, back talk, commence.